What's up, you guys? Your boy Eddie Maximilian back again for another video here at ASAP Moto, Linden, New Jersey, back in the dyno lab. Today we have a 2025 Yamaha R9 with a full header to tip, M4 exhaust. We already did a dyno pull on a stock R9. We got right around 100 horsepower and 62 foot-pounds of torque. So now that we have that as, let's call that a baseline, we're gonna go ahead and tune this bike to perfection and see what we can make. All right, so let's just check out the beautiful exhaust on this bike. Here's an M4. There's a tip, no baffle on this bike. Full, I believe this is stainless, all the way to the headers. Beautiful welds. M4 does a really good job with their stuff. They make great power. I have no complaints with all the M4 systems on the market. Let's get a little cold start going. All right, so we're gonna let that get up to temperature before we start doing some hard pulls on this bike.
Alright guys, let's take a look inside the Woolwich software here. I just want to do a little bit behind the scenes so you can see what I do that you don't really get to see in the video. It's very tedious, but I just want to touch base on some things. So, disable top speed limiter. We're going to disable closed loop, disable the cat, disable fuel cut, disable the front wheel speed sensor while it's dyno tuning, and disable any EVAP fault codes that we might get. All this stuff gets disabled so you don't get any codes while you're riding. Also, in the temp here, we reduced this down to about 95 degrees Celsius. Just by doing this alone is instantly going to improve feel of riding the bike. So the disabling the fuel cut is when you give it gas and you let it go, it doesn't have that jerky feeling. It's gonna smooth in and out of deceleration and acceleration. All right, that's what that does. Disable the cat. Well, we remove the cat with the M4, so that's gotta go. The closed loop, we don't want the ECU to determine how much fuel it's supposed to give the bike. We want us to determine how much fuel we're supposed to give the bike because we're trying to improve the power output and the torque. And then we're disable the top speed limiter here, of course, for obvious reasons. Okay, then we go into limiters here. Here we can raise the rev limiter just a little bit if you want. We'll go to other maps. I want you guys to see. This is where a lot of the magic happens. This is your ETB throttle valve mapping. What this means is the top X axis here, this is how much throttle you're giving the bike. And then the Y axis here on the left, this is the RPM. Based on the RPM, this is how much percentage the throttle blades open and close based on how much throttle you're actually giving it. So here is where the unlock happens. We scroll all the way to the right. This is 100% throttle, okay? Now, obviously, this is gear 0, meaning it's neutral. So let's go into, let's say, gear 5, which is where you should make the most amount of power. So gear 5, this is very interesting to note because it starts off at 40%, slowly increases to 100%, and this is over at, what is this? 7,000 RPM is when we start to get our 100% power output. Now, once you go over to, what is this? 10,001, which is getting close to redline, it cuts off power, or it closes the throttle blades. Okay, it closes the throttle blades by about 12%. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna max this part out to 100 so that there is no drop off in power. Okay, this is important, and we will do this for every single gear. Every single gear, In this case, 4 to 6 is very similar for top end, but usually 1 to 3, they have different throttle blade openings. So we're gonna revamp this entire mat for every single gear so that the customer is gonna have a very, very enjoyable ride, and he'll be able to make use of the new fuel map. And then your fuel map, obviously, this is where we adjust your fuel table for increasing and decreasing how much fuel your bike is getting based on our new ETV map. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, and let's proceed with the video.
Let's go to the computer, check out the results we got. Okay, so we're at, let's see, 99. The red line is a stock. Let's get rid of most of these. We got 99, our baseline, 110 after revision, 113, almost 113 and a half on horsepower. And then on torque, start off at 62, we got almost 71. So that's a pretty big jump. About, what is that, 9 foot-pounds of torque and about 13, 14 horsepower. Again, we are in SAE as always, not STD. The difference between SAE and STD is that STD is a little bit more optimistic. It doesn't take into account any of the environmental factors in the dyno room, sea elevation, humidity, temperature, all that stuff is not taken into account. So depending on the temperature of the room, you can actually kind of manipulate the numbers, if you will. So I always like to give SAE numbers because an SAE bike in New Jersey will be the same as an SAE bike in Florida or Texas or California or Washington, whatever. Always look for the SAE at the top right. Going back to the chart, I'm gonna make this easy. Let's get our best run here, which was green. Pretty good numbers. Let me move this over where we could read and see everything. So we got ourselves gains everywhere. Everywhere past 3,300, we got gains. The gains start here. The differences between two got 3 horsepower on the low end. Let's go to 5,000 RPM. 8 horsepower. Let's go right here. There's a big gap right here, big jump. What's the difference here? We're at, oh my God, we're at, what is that? Like 14 horsepower in the mid, 6 to 7,000 RPM. Okay, 14 horsepower gain in the mid. And this pretty much, the delta here from mid all the way to the red line is pretty much the same, 14 horsepower gain. Let's see here. 11, yep. This one's almost 15. There's almost 15 horsepower here. So it's a big jump, guys. 99 at the top end to 113. Yeah, 14 horsepower. Yep. So there you have it. That's what this bike will make. Amazing, beautiful, a straight line for your power. Very smooth, predictable. Once this bike is dialed in, guys, this thing's pretty nice. So these numbers are comparable to like a Yamaha R6, the ones that got discontinued 2017 to 2020, or the last years they made them. The difference here is that the torque is like, I want to say like 40% more than an R6. So even though we do have one less cylinder, we do have more torque. And that's why we need 900 cc's to produce that same amount of horsepower on 3 cylinders than you would on an inline 4 with the R6. Again, this one red lines at about 10.5, whereas an R6 you have 16,000 RPM. So it really depends on your style of riding and what you decide to go with. But this is it, guys. This R9, perfectly tuned, all right? Stock tire, stock chain, everything stock, except for the beautiful M4 exhaust. And there is a stock air filter under here as well. You might be able to get a little bit more horsepower if you change the filter, but other than that, this bike is ready to go, and I'll see you guys in the next video.